Might have to do. Okay. So, hey, y'all, this is another live video. It is Friday. I am just coming back from the gym. About to talk to my good sister friend, Tanee, the TO. We're all, actually, she's Tanee the plug now. She always been the plug. Um, yes. Hope y'all have been having a good week. As what's up, Storm Chula? Let me wave at the people. Let me wave at the people as they come in.
What's going on? Oh, let me flip the camera. That's what's going on.
Okay. Okay.
How's that sound? Can you hear the helicopter in the back?
No, I cannot hear a helicopter
Okay, good.
at all. Is it that loud?
I was like, let me put my headphones on because they decided to search for somebody in K Town right now.
So on this Friday. So what I actually do, so I post the whole live, but I
Okay.
also use it to cut it up into like segments. You know how the podcasts do.
Yes, I'm here for it.
Um, so we'll see. It's always interesting. What's up, Suleiman?
So
DI?
for the people that don't know who I am, I'm Tanita Plug. If you're not following me, please go ahead and go follow me, Tanita Plug, on IG. On YouTube, it's Tanita Tia. We got hacked on IG. It's okay. We rebuilding. We back. We here. I'm also a part of the Sankofa Wellness Project team. You will be seeing more of me when it comes to the Sankofa Wellness Project thing going on. But you probably already seen me turn it up in Barbados for the Food and Run Festival last year, because that was me. That was me.
Getting her entire life, y'all. When I tell you, it was the best thing to see her getting her entire life in
Look,
Barbados the way that it is meant to be done. Okay?
the
So,
mother had a time. When I tell you, like it has shifted the way I move in life, like for real, for real.
talk about it to me.
I
Come on, honey.
so my recent manifestation is that okay, that was really my first like vacation. I'm not there to like teach, facilitate, do anything. I'm just there to just be,
Live.
experience the culture. What's here? I'm here for it. Whatever. What are we doing? I'm here. I'm doing it. Okay. What's to
Yeah.
eat? I'm here. I'm eating it. I'm trying it. Who is that? What's that? I want it. And that was so great. I was like, oh, I've been working like a lot, to reach goals and all of those things. But like, what is the point? The point is living.
Yeah.
And I felt like I was truly, fully just living and
Yeah.
enjoying. And I had never experienced 5-star treatment like that. I said, oh, there's
It's
another
a
side of this
different
thing
world. Ooh, than
that
where you
I now
come
cannot come
from.
back from. Okay.
Yeah.
We can't go back. Why? Why? And so a part of that was the rest and the restoration and the wellness. Like we go all the time. But we do that for what? To be able to live, to be able to sit somewhere and watch a beautiful sunset. That's sitting and doing nothing. And so I have been incorporating my manifestation for this year is may there be more income while I'm sitting and chilling,
Ashe. Ashe.
like doing nothing, still getting checks from
Yeah.
all the work that we've been putting in. And it's happening. I'm
Ashe.
grateful
Ashe. Because
as we just
gratitude
paid
is
off
the
this crop
practice.
over trip.
So Tanee is going to the crop over trip. So when we are whining in the street, when we are at Grand Kadooment, when we are living it up, dancing every day, dancing every night, Tanee will be at that gathering. So she'll be there. And then she'll also return to Barbados, okay,
Yes.
in November
Yes.
for the
Food and Rum
annual
Festival.
Food and Rum Festival. Okay. And this is to not be missed. I mean, when we talk about bucket list experiences, right now, one of the things that's happening is this social media influencer, content creator, I Show Speed, is on his Caribbean tour. So he's bouncing from
I
island to
saw
island to
that.
island, really just showcasing, you know, the energy of the places, and they come out and they just like put their culture on display. And I love watching what's happening because that's the vibe of the Caribbean. The vibe of the Caribbean is carnival. It is beautiful beaches. It is nature and forest and beautiful black people and
Whew.
natural hair and locks and glowing skin and Caribbean
Clear
food, roti
waters
and
and
curry
warm
and
waters. Ooh, yes.
clear, warm waters. Clear, warm waters that you can just dive in. Come on, just swim. Just get your life.
Just you could be knee deep and still see your toes. What? Oh
And
my
see
God,
the
it was so
fish.
beautiful. It was so
Yeah.
beautiful.
So I know a lot of people do go to like Cancun for vacation. You know, they go to Baja, they go to different places in Mexico, and I know those are really popular places. But going to the Caribbean and going to Cancun, that's like night and day. It's not the same thing.
Yeah.
Going to be embedded in the culture and to connect with the people and connect with the vibe and the pulse of the people is different
Yes.
than going to a resort in Cancun where you're exclusively on this resort just with the people who came to be on the resort and the staff who are serving you. It's night and day. It's two different experiences.
And I really enjoy, as someone who appreciates other cultures, learning about other cultures and seeing our differences and how we are connected through those differences. It was beautiful how in almost every experience, every moment, there was history tied into the entertainment. Like
Mm.
there, even down to like the characters that are present, you know, like on the rum route, each bus had a character. And I was like, okay,
Yeah.
which that's a whole other topic. It took me a moment to be like, wait, I know this means something, and I know
Right.
there's some cultural, but what is what? Huh? Help me. The Westerner in me was like, yeah, what are we
Right.
doing here? I don't understand. But the more I kept asking questions,
Yeah.
and just with an open mind of just asking, so why exactly are we wearing that? Why
Yeah.
exactly did you choose that? Why? What does that mean? And then people just the way that everybody knew the history was refreshing. Um, and again,
Mm.
it was just more than it was something that I wish that we knew. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't. Everybody don't know our history. Heck, I don't know American history all like that. To be honest, I started learning more history when I dove into the culture.
That's
Um,
right.
I I didn't know when Guinea gained their independence, and you know what I'm saying. I ain't know Sekou Touré was the first president until I started playing these drums.
Yeah.
And it has given me a world awareness of things that I didn't have. Um, and so even just traveling to Barbados, just traveling outside of
Yeah.
America
Yeah.
gives you a world perspective. Especially when you go and you see people that are look just like you,
Yep.
but have a completely different world experience,
Yep.
and you begin to talk about that experience. It's like, wow, there's differences, but also, wow, we do that too.
Yep.
That's interesting. Oh, but it just tastes like this. Oh, y'all use this
Yep.
seasoning instead of this. Oh, okay. Okay. So there was a lot of that on this trip, on the trip, that I'm looking forward to with crop over because I know how significant culturally that is in their history.
It's huge. Like let's go back to some of the characters that you said you saw on or we saw when we were on the rum route. So to give y'all some
Yes.
background, during the Barbados Food and Rum Festival, which is like it's like a 4-day festival, we stayed there for a week because you're going to get there early so I can introduce you to my people and give you some experiences, and then we're going to stay a little bit later, right? Because I'm going to introduce you to my people and give you some experiences that are exclusive and behind the scenes in VIP. Okay.
That's
That's
right.
what we're doing. Okay. And so one of the events, or from the moment you land, you're going to see certain characters or personas that represent something in Barbadian history. And so one of the things you're going to see is Mother Sally. So this book that I'm about to
Yes.
show y'all is a book called Rumbulian, which was written by my good sister friend, Dr. Cheryl Rock. She is Barbadian. She's Bajan. She lives in the States. She is a professor at Cal State Long Beach, and she's a professor of food science. And she takes students to Barbados every single year. She's been doing this for 10 years. Last summer, I joined her and some of her college students on some of their excursions. So again, I'm being embedded in the culture with people who are from there and connecting
Always.
with. And so now this is my team, right? Her team is my team. So the things that she, as a Bayesian, are taking her students to see, I am taking y'all to see. So that's why I'm the plug. So Tanee the plug, I'm the bridge.
But she's a Bayesian plug. And let me tell you, as we were getting checked in and getting a tour around this spot, O2, which if you go to every other like influencer, everybody that we have talked to says O2 is literally like top notch. That's the best place to be at on the island. And that's where we was at. And that's where you could be at in November. And when I tell you the service for the Food and Rum Festival, chef's kiss. But while we were getting a tour, here come my brother, Rafina. I said, you better know the people before we didn't even know we was coming. Now that right there, I said, oh, we're going to have a good time. We're going to be all right.
He just happened to he had just been hired at O2 Beach Club and Spa. That's the all-inclusive beachfront resort. And he had just gotten a job there. And he was like, oh, he saw me first. It was like, Rafina. I was like, right? And so again, he's like, okay, I got you.
Yep.
Right. You here, I'm here, your people coming, I got you. And after that, he was introducing me to other people who work there. Like, I'm the plug, y'all. I'm going to give you experiences. And that's one of the things that's embedded. Like, I really want to unpack what Sankofa Wellness Project is, right? Because when we go, we are going to connect with our Caribbean cousins.
Yes.
Ashe?
Like, yes, we do the tourist thing, but it's a deeper, it was a deeper connection. You could, like, I could tell, never being there, that when we were in certain spaces, I'm grateful I was with Rafina and not with that group over there, because that chaos that's happening over there is not happening here because of the connection with the people that we have. Literally, I'm kind of jumping around, but the day when this was the most telling day of everything, when we were with the horses.
Tell it, girl. Tell it, girl. Tell it.
So one of the days, a part of the wellness is we go to the beach, and it's like early in the morning. You can go and watch the retired racehorses at the beach. It's a beautiful experience. Even if you're afraid of horses, which, I'm not, but if you're afraid of horses, the men are very, they're knowledgeable. You can tell they work with the horses all the time. They know what they're doing. But the scene is chaotic. And when you pull up to the beach, it's it's like a tourist spot, and you could tell it's a hustle spot for the locals. Yeah. And so when you're there, it's like, I gotta get the first person. If I can get as many people as I can get, I'm gonna have a good day. So you can imagine what type of that could be a lot. Plus 15 horses bucking and kicking randomly around, right?
Yeah.
Our people was like, oh, wait, you weren't even supposed to come over here. We were going to bring you to somewhere else. Meet us over here. When I tell you, it was night and day.
Yeah. We had a separate meetup spot than the general public. Yeah. And the reason we had a separate meetup spot is because I know the folks who work at the Hilton, right? Yes. And they connected us to their guys who they knew their job was to take care of us. So I'm communicating with them and telling them, shaping the experience that the Sankofa Wellness Project is here to give them. I told our brother, I said, we want peace, tranquility, and beauty. And we've come to this drop-off spot with the general public. And there was, Tanee, wasn't it about 50 tourists? I mean, that beach was packed.
It was packed.
50 tourists.
But
Okay?
you know why? Because as I've been doing research, it's something that on social media people say go to this location and go to find, and
Mhm.
it's one of the destination things, like a checkoff list thing to do in Barbados. And so yeah, it was.
It's a hustle spot. So then you got all these young boys and all these young men knowing I can go down there and make some money because the tourists, the Europeans,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Westerners are out there. So you got these young men like, hey, 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 come over here, come over here, come over here. I got you. And then you got these horses bucking and bucking and bucking. And then our driver, I'm checking in with him and he's like, dude, is this what you want to do? And I was like, this is not the
this
vibe
was
of the
not it.
Sankofa Wellness Project, right? Where's our family? Where's our brother? Right? Because we roll as family. Where my cousin at? Who's gonna lead our group? And so I made some phone calls, I'm texting, and I said, no, no, no. I need us to have a different experience. And so I was told, actually, your meetup spot was on the other side of the Hilton. So I'm gonna have the young man come and pick you guys up and take you to your correct spot. And then as Tanee said, night and day experience.
Night and day. I mean, you could feel the energy shift. Like it was like, ah, this is
Mm.
what we were here for. And then the backdrop of the rocks and the waves crashing was just divine for the photo shoot. It was everything worked out perfectly.
Peace, tranquility, and beauty.
Yep.
That's what I
Mission
asked
accomplished.
for, and that's what they gave us, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I've been going over and over again. I've been going back and forth to Barbados every year so that I can make these, connections with our family there. And then I'm consciously inviting people to come with the Sankofa Wellness Project who want to go and connect with our Caribbean cousins because we're all part of the diaspora. So when we're
Yeah.
having these experiences where we're not seen as tourists that they are trying to get money from, because that's a real thing,
Yeah.
right? I want to make sure that I take us underneath that. So my background is as a Fulbright fellow, right? So I was a Fulbright fellow, part of the American government, diplomatic energy, ambassador energy to Thailand. And so I was introduced, me and the cohort that I was a part of, and one of the sisters who's going to the crop over trip with us, Natasha, she was also a Fulbright fellow in Thailand
Nice.
with us. And so we know what it feels like to travel to another country and to be welcomed as an ambassador, to be introduced to the people who have the keys to the culture, right?
Hmm.
Who welcome you into their homes, who teach you the language, who teach you the mores and the folkways and the unspoken rules within the society so that you can understand how to blend and how to
Hmm.
connect. And when you understand that, then you have a richer experience. People don't, then it's not about the transaction of the tourist.
Right.
It's not that, oh, what can you buy? No, it's about how can I connect? So the people that we connect with in Barbados, they're here to share their culture with us as we are here to experience it and then share with them as members of the African diaspora.
Asha.
That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. So when we go back, when we're at O2 and it's all inclusive and 5-star, and Tanee said, the best service, you're going to get the best customer
Look,
service.
all you gotta just look around for a pink shirt. Oh, ask what you need. Where's one? It's one in eyesight. Just can I? Yes, please. Ooh,
Yeah.
that yes, please. That yes, please got me every time. They say yes, please over
Loki.
in Barbados, in Barbados, and that was like I loved it. I don't know. I just loved it.
And low key, they looking to see, do you need anything? You need anything? I got you. You need anything? And
Yep.
when we're saying yes, cousin. That's what our yes is. Yes, cousin. Right? I'm still connected to some of the people who work at O2 on WhatsApp.
Oh, lovely.
right? Okay. The brothers who worked at Harrison's Cave, I'm still connected to them. We're still texting. They asked about
What?
you, Tanee.
The governor.
The governor. Absolutely. He like, when you coming?
We coming. We coming back. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I want to go back and do that. On one of them free days, I might go back and do that obstacle course. That looked fun. Yeah, I'm here for it. Like, yeah.
Ooh, ooh.
Like, governor, when you working, I'm coming to do the obstacle course.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll take good care of us. His team will take good care
Oh
of us.
yeah,
So when it comes
yeah.
to the crop over trip though, I did talk to Sophia, right? And I'm supposed to talk to her probably next week or the week after that. So Sophia is the sister who runs the West African dance and drum
Oh, I remember. Yes.
group.
Question about crop over. So I know Juve. I mean, you guys are jumping with the band. Okay, clarification. Yes, I'm gonna be there, but I'm coming from a gig, so I'm gonna be there late. So I'm gonna miss a couple of the events, which I'm a little upset about, but it's okay. That just means I gotta go back next year, maybe. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna miss jumping with a Dinker of the band because I seen the outfits. I'm like, dang, that's what we're working for. Is them outfits right there? That's what we
Right
do.
in the
But
field.
but so what is the attire then though for when
Grand
I am
Kaduna.
gonna be there? Yeah, what that look like? That's what all
Okay,
the
so
oh, that's what he was saying between dirty and pretty. Ah, it just clicked. It just clicked.
you
Understood.
got it. So okay, so if what Tanis's talking about, y'all got to go to a previous post where we're talking. I'm talking to Ryan of Adinker the band, and he's talking about the carnival and playing mask, which is masquerade. And there's two
Yes.
different kinds of mask that you can play.
Dirty
You can
mask.
play dirty mask or pretty mask, right?
I was like, what?
Dirty Mask is Juve. That's the
Uh
one
huh.
we're dancing all night and they're throwing the paint and the powder. And if they doing jab jab, because oh, you wasn't there last time. I was like, you remember? Oh no, no, you wasn't there. Then they might have the oil because you'll see in other
Where they're
it was
all in black.
black
I've
oil,
seen that. I've seen that. I've
right?
been
With the
watching
horns and
videos. I seen it. Uh huh.
that's
I'm
jab
doing my
jab. So it's some
research.
people out there in Barbados doing jabs. So they bring it. So you might have some oil, you might have some paint. They sprinkling the powder, and you just like right. That's dirty mess. And so then there's another mask that's
Uh
the
huh.
pretty mask. That's the clean mask. That's Grand Kadooment in the
Got it.
daytime. This is the grand finale of Crop Over, the 2 month long festival. This is the beads and the feathers. This
Ah, okay.
is, skin. And this is like, I mean, it depends on how you playing. It depends
It
on
depends
which
on
part
how
of the
you
band you
going.
part of.
Got you. Are we connected to a band for that at this point?
Yes, yes. So we're
Okay.
connected to Monday Mass.
Okay.
That's the name of the band that we'll be playing the Pretty Mass with. And so I need to send you all the options for the costumes for us to play in.
Yes.
So I'll do that today. Hey y'all, welcome to the
Yes.
talk. And that's really pretty. Hey y'all, welcome, welcome, welcome. We talking about playing mass in Barbados with the beads and the feathers. And so
Uh
yeah, this
huh.
band is really pretty. I mean, they have really I remember the yellow. I have to look again at the theme of this year, but it's really beautiful. So and I haven't done that part before, right?
Okay.
Look, I'll be honest, that part is I'm a little that's me stepping out of my comfort zone. Cause
Yeah.
I
Cause
don't
this is
think
we basically just walking down the street in some bathing suits. Like,
right.
hey, hey, whining and walking in the street. Hey. I also learned the difference between walking and whining. You're not supposed to be whining on everybody. You can't whine on everybody because that's more intimate. You can walk on everybody, but you can't whine on everybody. So I
Oh,
learned that. Yes. Yes.
okay. And you
Because
know
they was
what?
asking people like, if you have a girlfriend or boyfriend or a partner or whatever, are you okay with them walking or whining in the streets? And it was like everybody was like, it's okay for you to walk in the streets. That's fine. We're here. We're doing the things, but don't be whining on my man. That's a little too. I said, oh,
Really?
good to know, because I would be out there whining on everything and not even knowing I'm being offensive. So yeah, do your research, people.
I think it really does depend. And see, this is why I want to dive into this because as an American, look, born in LA, South Central, right?
hmm
Like raised in the suburbs, lived in the Bay Area, came back to LA as an adult. Like my people from the South, right? I have, even though we be twerking and doing all the things, we have our culture, right? There's
Yeah.
still a level of modesty,
Yes.
and there's just rules about like what's allowed
There's rules
in
of
business
engagement.
and all. Yeah, I mean, there's just things that have been implanted in me, right? And when it comes to dance and sexuality and expression and intimacy and all that, and I find that Caribbean culture takes that shit and just throw it.
Out the window.
None of that
I'm here for
applies
that.
here.
It doesn't.
And what one of the things I love is how much fun people are having.
Yeah.
There's a I'm still exploring, so y'all don't judge me if I use some words, okay? Okay, so there's a level of like raunchiness, but it's still fun. It's
It is.
joyous. It's playful. So they play mass, right? Even though it's sexual.
Like it's very prevalent in the music. As like when we were there, as I began to like listen to the lyrics, I was like, oh, okay, okay, all right, okay. We all just said that out loud. Got it. We doing that. 6:30. Copy that. Got it. Okay.
That happens all the time. I'll be like, oh, okay.
Okay. All right. Nobody else is tripping. Okay, cool. We do that here. We do that here. Okay.
That's
Okay.
why it's gonna be fun to be there with Jasmine because the same way I'm an honorary Bajan, Jasmine is an honorary Trini, as in
Trinity.
Trinidad.
Yeah.
So she knows all these old soca songs or these
Yeah.
classics, and so me and her be dancing, and she be telling me what they say, and I be like, "Oh shit, that's what they say."
Yeah.
Because I'm in the Bajan community here in LA, girl, we be at parties and stuff, and somebody come and just be like, "What?" I guess we walking up,
All
and then
right.
I be like, "Ow!" And this is like somebody's husband. He's like in it,
Right.
okay, and
Yeah.
it's all playful,
It's
it's all
okay.
fun. And I was
It's
like, "Oh,
okay. That's what
okay."
we doing. Got it.
Yeah, it's so I like I'm enjoying first of all just being in my feminine, right? My grown ass woman um, sensual, um, powerful, this
hmm
powerful stage of my life, and exploring how I can own that in a public space, and be in an environment that encourages me, a culture that encourages me to stand in my beauty and stand in my
Okay.
power within my body and celebrate that, right? Versus like
hmm
a level of shame and judgment.
Right. Right. It's
So
a. this was definitely this definitely is a place that I feel like encourages that. Um, I know that there's, they got the new influx of YNs and things and whatever, but like it was I felt very safe while we were there. Um, in that feminine and to just be feminine. Like I don't know, it was just there's still more of the chivalry and let me get that and open the door, a little bit of that and that's nice. That's just nice. Man,
Yeah,
we
it's
still want that.
it does feel good to be in a culture where um the men, I think, are still being raised and taught and to be chivalrous, right? To
Yeah.
just be, even if they're like complimenting you or flirting with you, there's a level of masculinity that just kind of sits in its masculine and knows its role as it relates to the feminine. So I
Mhm.
always feel very well taken care of. I always feel
Mhm.
very well regarded from when I'm in Barbados, from the young men to the old. There's just
Yeah.
there's an energy that just feels good, right?
Yeah.
um and again, that's one of the teachings of one of the things that we're learning within the St. Copa Wellness Project is to go into another culture of people who look like us so that we can then look back at our culture and go,
Hmm.
well, why is it like that?
Right.
What happened? What's
Where
happening
happened?
now?
Where did the disconnect happen?
And what can we do
Right. Can we
to
change things?
can we change things? How can we change things? Like what do we value? Where did these
Yeah.
values come from? So thank you for saying that, Tanee.
Yeah. It was even with some of the young men, at the resort. I get it. It's 5-star. The customer service has to be on point. But it still didn't feel like that was far from their natural being. Like they didn't feel like they was just putting on because I'm at work. You know what I'm saying? Like it felt like, nah, these are things you natural like that just came that rolled off your tongue too easy. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? You naturally behave in this manner. Now it may be upgraded because you at work, but it's still in you, and it's still, you know what I'm saying? There was just a I don't know, a kindness that it's unfortunate. There's such a disconnect between us, the brother and sister here, on this land,
yeah,
that you could feel that hasn't been done as much there. Like you can
yeah,
still, they're still cool. We got some things to patch up here. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? There is great, and don't get me wrong. Like I have great relationships with all of the brothers in my space,
yeah,
but as a whole, there are definitely some gaps between the brother and sister relationship. Um, that we need to mend on this side,
yeah,
for sure. There's
yeah,
some wounds and some healing that needs to be, you know what I'm saying, addressed and dealt with. That wasn't prevalent over that. I just didn't see it, feel it over there.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's I'm See, this is good because as Tanee, as you're part of the team, these are the kind of um, conversations. This is the kind of work that we want to dive into because we're calling it the Sankofa Wellness Project, right? So how do we heal? How do we embed healing, right? Examination of trauma,
Mhm.
examination of how these systems of oppression have affected our culture back at home, or even where we travel to. And then
Mhm.
I want to come back and facilitate conversations. Like I want to be able to have these conversations there before we go and
Yeah.
there so that we can prepare people for a
Yeah.
transformational experience.
Yeah.
I want people to see the diaspora through new eyes after they come back
Yeah.
from those. It's going to happen one way or the other.
Right.
However, I want to facilitate that transition in thinking, that discovery, right?
Yes.
Amongst us, because when we go and we see us behaving differently, it makes us question our behavior at home.
Why don't I do that over here? There were several things. I'm trying to pinpoint some things. It was just like, ah, I don't know, maybe if it's just the politeness. I don't know if it was the, you know, yeah, it just, it's a different vibe that you definitely want to bring home. And
Yeah.
I think that that's a part of the change is having people just experience it and being like, well, I don't have to stop doing that. I can keep doing that here. How can I keep doing that here?
Yeah.
And then I think more of those things, more ways are connected. Even like when I went to Senegal, um, that was what 5 years ago now,
Yeah.
and I have still found ways for it to be relevant in my life in America.
Yeah.
I got people. Somebody just brought me some cafe tuba the other day because they knew I like cafe tuba. I ain't even have to buy it. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah.
just like maybe it is just a part of the piece or the opening door is
Yeah.
ushering the people home, not home.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To cousin's house to like to see the difference, and then that spark begins to happen
Yeah.
because one trip has now turned into three for one person for me.
That's right. Travel is
You know
life
what I
changing.
mean? Yeah,
International travel is life changing, right? Um, and more of us need to do it.
yeah,
More of us need to have passports. More of us need to that's why I say, like, yes, it's good to go to Cancun, and it may even be cheaper to go to Cancun and
right.
sit, on in a luxury resort. But it's a fabricated environment. It's like a Disneyland. It's crafted to create a certain experience.
Yeah,
When you travel um authentically and you connect with people in the diaspora in their authentic home, and you
yes,
get a chance to sit next to them or dance with them, see how they dance, and then you get up and dance, right? Taste their food, like what they eat, and then you compare that to the food that your grandmother, right,
yeah.
makes or made, and you're like, wait a minute, hold on. Travel is so um it's expansive. And I
And
can
go
remember
get
this.
uncomfortable for a second. Don't be the privileged American. Okay, okay. Let me get on my soapbox for a
Go
hot
ahead.
second now. There have been so many times. Now I get it. As black folks, there have been so many places that we've been kept out of for years and decades and all of that things. And now we finally got to the place to where we can, experience a few things. We got a couple dollars. We want to be treated as we've seen others be treated. However, we cannot take on the role of the oppressor and how they treated us when we go to these other places. Road systems ain't gonna always be the same. Infrastructure is not always the same. Technology ain't always the same. It's not America. You didn't go there to have an American experience. You went there to have a cultural experience of that land. So I just encourage us as we go to other places. This ain't really for me, but I'm just including myself in the thing.
No, it's
But
good. Good.
as you go
Good.
to somebody else's house, remember you're in someone else's house. And so oftentimes you need to take your shoes off at the door. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I might have paid to be here, but like, you're still in somebody else's house. And so I feel like there's a level of, and what I think a lot of it is the discomfort of not, of, being in an unfamiliar place. You know what I'm saying? People's fear shows up in a different way. You're in another country. You may not fully understand what's there might be a small language barrier, even though we speak English. There's an accent, a heavy accent. And if you're not someone who can understand, if you got a problem speaking to Americans, check yourself on your communication. You might have issues in another country where the accent is thicker. You know what I'm saying? We have to slow down. You have to actually look people in the eye and watch their mouth and maybe ask questions. And what does that mean? And you might not be the most knowledgeable one in the room today. Yeah. And that is okay. And I think that is a part of that American bullshit experience that people bring, is when they feel insecure, they then need to, how can I get back on top and not feel shaken, right? For whatever reason that has not been verbalized. So there's traffic. If something happened, like things, like we were going somewhere and there was an accident or something, and well, there's only one main road to get to the location, so we're going to be late. Guess what? Everybody else on the island late too, so chill, right. Like relax. You know what I mean? So it was just a few of those things, a few of those moments where it's like, don't be the American.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you find yourself being that, I feel like that's a moment to be reflective.
Yeah.
Where does that come from? How am I perpetuating the same thing that the oppressor did to us and our people? And how can I not do that in the future? And do I do that at home? Because typically the things we do are not new.
Right.
They just showing up in a different way. You know what I mean? From a new environment. But you go back to what feels comfortable. And so if that's something that happens when you're out of town, like look at that. Was it really this herb, or were you just uncomfortable because you didn't understand the menu?
Yeah. Yeah. That's right. I mean, that's why I'd like to use the analogy of the African diaspora being a family, and we from the States through these experiences are going to see our Caribbean cousins. And then when we go to Ghana, when we go to the continent, we going back to the motherland. We going to visit family. You know what I mean? We going to connect with family wherever we go. Because when you think of it like that, you're closer. Yeah, it doesn't separate you as much from the people whose country we're visiting, because you're like them, right? We have so much in common. We are more the same than different. Right? Like my dad, when the first time they went to Senegal, I remember my dad said, like, he felt like he could see how we were all affected by slavery, the transatlantic slave trade. Like, he had been studying this all of his life, but to see it and to think about the opportunities that he has had in the United States to become educated, to become a property owner, to build a family, and to, my mom to go to school and become a nurse and all these things. So, and now they have the options because of education and because of the fact we live in the States that the folks that he was visiting in Senegal didn't necessarily have. And so what he said is like, I understand that we are actually the beneficiaries of, well, I would have to get him to say his own quote, but
I understand what you're saying. Like, there was a lot but like we've rose from it and have benefited probably more than our brothers that are still on the continent.
Yeah.
We have been able to elevate to a level in life.
Yeah.
We've been able to fight through all of the colonization, even though it still exists, right? Mm-hmm. But we now have a voice to fight it. We now have ways to actually combat it, and have been able to go back. We were never meant to go back.
That's why it was the door of no return. And so walking through the door of no return is
Yeah.
revolutionary. It is healing. It is an
It's so
ancestral
powerful.
journey, right?
Woo!
Like, think of all the ancestors who rejoice every time we put our foot,
Every
we
time.
touch the
Every
soil
time.
on the continent because we were
We are
never, think
literally
of
our
all of
ancestors'
those
wildest
prayers.
dreams. Woo!
Yes, Ashe. Think of all of those prayers, those songs, those tears, those
Yep.
pleas of in Africans who were kidnapped from the continent, put in chains, put on ships, and forcibly brought here, right? Like, think of the prayers that they had to just be able to go back home.
Just
I just want to go home. I don't even know what this is. What is
and I
this?
didn't ask to leave.
Right. So the fact that we have the ability now to go back home, the fact that places like Ghana are welcoming us back home, um, is this is ancestral. This is
It
what the
is.
St. Copa Wellness Project is, and the reason why Barbados is such an important piece is because you can't really truly understand the journey of our ancestors who were brought here unless you understand the path of the people who were dropped off in the Caribbean. You can't
Yeah.
leave the Caribbean out.
You can't.
Mm-mm. You can't
Mm-mm.
leave the
Yeah.
Caribbean out of our story. And that was made clear about a month ago when me and the boys traveled to South Carolina with Jack and Jill to go learn about the Gullah Geechee people and their history and the
Mm-hmm.
overall impact on the African American culture and therefore culture within the United States. They said the word Barbados over and over and over and over again
Wow.
because there were a lot of Caribbeans. Those ships went from the coast of Africa down to the Caribbean. Barbados was
Yep.
the first drop off because it's the island that's the furthest east. So it was the
Got it.
first drop off. It was one of the islands that had the harshest practices of enslavement. And then from
Right.
there, people were sent to South Carolina. My dad calls South Carolina the Ellis Island of Africans
Okay.
because of the number of enslaved Africans who went through the port of Charleston. That is our
Yeah.
Ellis Island.
That was the main entry location.
That was the main one. We didn't. Our ancestors didn't land. When our ancestors got here, they were not floating past the Statue of Liberty.
No. They didn't see that yet.
That's what they saw. You understand? They came through
Right.
Charleston. A
Right.
majority of them. So there is a story. There is a story to be told. And guess what? The Most High said, "All right. If
All
they want to
right.
take the stories out of the books, out of the textbooks, they want to ban
We're
the
gonna
books."
go live it. No problem. No problem. Let's go feel it, experience it, embody it, taste it, smell it, touch it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the way you learn about it anyway, is multiple senses. You got to engage all the senses. That's how you really learn a thing. It's one thing to read it, but when you read it out loud and you write it, you know,
Right.
yeah,
That's what we doing.
that's what
So
we
that's
do.
why I felt that the day I landed in Barbados for the first time in 2022, I felt it. I felt connected to the people. I felt a weight off of my shoulders.
Mm.
And when I started learning about the history, I said, "Oh, more of us need to know
More we
this."
need to know. Yeah, we need to know. It's so rich in the history. It's like, oh, whoa, wait. Like George Washington. Barbados is the only place he went to outside of America. and got a house. Why? Because of their slave practices. So what was going on there? Like, you know what I'm saying? Woo.
Yeah. Barbados
Yeah.
was one of the most valuable colonies that belonged to the British Empire. It was one of the most powerful colonies. And so because of the proximity to the mainland, and remember at the time, the
Mm-hmm.
US, it wasn't the US, like it was just the 13 colonies.
Right.
So he came
Right.
down here and was like, because his brother was in the military, so he came down here. Or I'm sorry, look, I be talking like I'm in Barbados. He went down there and
Right.
studied their military tactics,
Yep.
learned about how they were, all the money they were making from the way that they were practicing enslavement, and producing all that sugar cane, and then brought that knowledge back to the States. He also saw how they were able to inoculate themselves.
Yep.
What was the sickness? I
It
forget what
was
it's called.
I think it was polio.
Don't
I
let me say.
I think
Look,
it
I'm
was
gonna
a
put in
polio
the video. I'm gonna put it
vaccine.
down here. It's gonna be right here.
Yeah, we're gonna do the research and remember. But I wanna say it was something like that that they figured out a way to save their soldiers from getting it. And
Right,
that was like the beginning of inoculation and vaccination and stuff being required in the United States military.
right. So I think what he was able to do, is come back, and it was like a controlled inoculation where he would intentionally have his soldiers get it and then give them time to heal from it. And then when we were fighting with the British were dying off, but the soldiers within the colonies were able to keep fighting because they had built up a resistance against it. I mean, there's a lot of military strategy that he learned from being in Barbados,
Yeah,
you know.
which is
So
crazy.
I want us to, that's why there's 3 different trips, because that's so much to learn. So while we're dancing for crop over, the focus of
Right.
the crop over trip is joy and liberation
Yes.
through dance.
Yes.
Okay. So there is all this history. Just come back to Barbados with us. We'll go to the George Washington House. Tanee, I gotta call it something else. That's what I'm calling
I
right now, the family
know.
trip. But the family trip is deeper than the family. You know what I mean? It's just more
Yeah.
it's
It's
more
family friendly.
appropriate. It's family friendly, right?
Yeah, because it's lots of rubbing happening at the Food and Rum Festival now. Now, I ain't going to say we didn't have a good time. That's why sister's coming back. But lots was learned while we was rumming and walking in the streets. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. Because you can't separate. That's what I love about going to Barbados and going the way that I like to curate the experiences, because you can't be there drinking all this rum and, embedding yourself in the culture without learning about the history. And
Right.
so to go back to the book, Rumbulian, right, that my sister friend, Dr. Cheryl Rock wrote, she explains in her book about
Mm,
the unique geography of Barbados that makes it the perfect place, the ideal place, to grow sugar cane, and
mm.
which then is used to produce rum. Right? It's the fact that it's not made up of volcanic
Right.
materials. It's made up
It's
of
the only island
limestone.
in the Caribbean that's made up of that. Yeah.
Limestone. I think it's like
Yeah.
coral limestone. So
Yep.
she talks about the geography. So that's why the rum is there, right? That's why. And then she talks about, of course, the national heroes, and she talks about how rum was formulated, because
Mm-hmm.
the enslaved Africans who were there, they were mainly growing sugarcane, right?
Yep.
They raised that island and just had our brothers and sisters in those fields raising that sugar cane brutally.
Brutally.
And then at the end, you also have to remember this is, oh, yes. You also have to remember, so they brought over their language, their practices,
Yep.
and the British outlawed the drum. They said, y'all can't do that.
No.
Okay. So
Which
you
is
have to think,
why which is why in soca music you hear a lot of or even when you watch the bands and stuff, they have tires. They're playing on tire rims and bottles and just different things because they took the drums, but they still had the music. They still had it in their heart and they still had to keep it going. So they just played on anything on something else. That's how
right.
and with the what's that, the steel pan, all of that, like
They
that's
still
where all
doing
of that
this.
came from. Yeah. It came from that. It was like, oh, okay, we can't have our drum, no problem. We got
Yeah.
this barrel over here though, right? Okay, cool. We'll do that.
Yeah. And so there's always, that's the beautiful thing about us as people. That's one of the reasons I have hope now today that we're going to be okay, because we always evolve. We always
Yes.
innovate. We
Yes.
always, we always find a way,
We gonna
because we're
find a
going to
way.
create. That's our culture. Culture is evolving. Culture. Look at the sister right here.
That's what I've been doing. If y'all been wondering what I've been looking at, I'm an art teacher and I've been creating for my next art class.
Because
We
that's what we
always
do.
gonna create. That's what
And
we
then
do.
she's going to share that with others as a way, as a means of expression, as an outlet,
Yes. That's it. We got our little cube. Fidget
yeah,
cube.
as a way to channel our energy. And so that's what happened. So after a while, the colonizers knew, okay, these Africans, we're gonna have to let
Hey,
them
oof.
dance or whatever. So at the end of the sugarcane harvest, right? The
When the
Africans
crop
wanted
is
to,
over,
when the crop was over, they were like, all right, we done, right? They were having like contests and things, right? They dancing and stuff, they singing. And so there was a period of celebration, like, all right, the crop is over. Now we can celebrate, we can relax, we can practice our own traditions. And so
hmm
when you look at the carnival, you'll see characters like, we talked about the fact that they didn't have the drums, but
right.
they didn't have the percussive drums from Africa, but they were allowed to play these drums. So you have like the tuck band, right?
Yep.
Who played, like, it was like the military kind of drumming that they played, that they were allowed to play. You had this sister right here is dressed as Mother Sally. She's a figure that a lot like our Aunt Jemima figure,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So she's very voluptuous, and she dances, and so you'll often see her depicted with a long dress with a hair covering, and then she'll have a big
Booty.
emphasized booty. So she dancing with her
hmm
big old booty, right? That's their figure. You have the shaggy bear, which you'll see all throughout the Caribbean, as well as you'll see these figures in West Africa, in
Yep.
Benin. Um, and so these elements, you'll see the mask, you'll see the stiltmen, right? You see them throughout the Caribbean, you see them throughout West Africa, the stiltmen.
hmm
So what crop over is today, it's been preserved as a vestige of slavery, but also a continuation of the celebration of freedom, of rest, and of connection with their ancestral practices that reach
Yep.
back to Africa, that reach back to the continent.
It's a beautiful thing.
That's what crop over is. The crop is over. Let's celebrate. Let's be
Let's
free.
celebrate.
And I've also been encouraged to think of it as a form of resistance. Because
Yeah.
as much as the enslavers, the colonizers, the so-called white supremacists, whatever name, the imperialists, the fascists, whatever name you want to give it, as much as they do things like what recently happened was they gutted the Voting Rights Act this week. As much as they try to do that, like we said before, we still innovate.
That's it.
We still create. We
And
still,
joy is definitely is a revolutionary act. Like these things, there are so many things done to steal our joy, to steal our passion. You know, it's hard to go forth in your calling when you depressed and sad. It's hard to go forth and give to the world what you have inside if you feel empty, right? And so a part of the work, as much as it feels counterproductive, and I hear so many people say, but I don't want to post this on social media because of everything that's going on in the world. That is why you have to. That is why you have to be the balance. If we just say, I'm not going to post the good because there's so much bad, we are giving the bad the okay to be the magnified thing. Whatever we emphasize, that's what will be more attracted into our own lives. And so I'm not saying negate the world, but just like in a falling plane, you got to put your gas mask on first. So if that means you have to find your joy and your peace every day so that you can go out into this world of chaos
yeah,
and not just be depleted
yeah.
by all of the things that are intentionally being put into our space. They poisoning the food, they poisoning the air, the water, the internet, everything. So
The music industry, the film industry, yeah, the school
all we can do,
curriculum.
fear fear ain't gonna do nothing. Worry ain't gonna do nothing. But we can intentionally find those moments of joy, intentionally find those moments of peace, intentionally find those moments of calm. And as we do that, and you find those things that make you joyful, make you peaceful, and make you calm, you do more of those things
That's right.
every day. You just do
That's
more of those things and watch the algorithm begin to shift.
right. Right.
And if it don't, hit them three buttons and be like, not interested.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. That's not what I'm gonna
That ain't
consume
what we
every
doing.
single day, because
Exactly.
what you focus on expands, and the algorithm follows that law of the universe as well. What you
Facts.
focus on, what you watch for a length of time, what you like, what you don't scroll past will continue. It'll
To keep
actually
popping
pop
up
up on your algorithm more and more
more.
and more and more. Yeah.
So
So that's
find the
why I
joy.
see
Find the joy.
focus on the joy, joy and liberation. And there is liberation and joy. And I want to respect your time, Tanee, so I'm going to
Ooh,
let you go
yes.
soon. But that is why, that's a lesson that I'm getting these days from people from the Caribbean who have adopted me into their family as an honorary Bajan and an honorary Caribbean, as a sister of the
Yep.
diaspora. The lesson is that that's why Carnival happens worldwide. If you look around all the places where the transatlantic slave trade had drop off points, you're going to have
A
people
carnival. Yep.
celebrating Carnival. And the resistance in it is, we're here.
Yes.
We're still here. And we're going to keep
And we
being
brought the
here.
cousins back that you said was never coming.
We dancing, we laughing, we loud, we're beautiful, we're vibrant, we're joyous.
Ashay.
We're attracting all this energy, and we're doing more and more and more and more. And it's not a spectator sport. This is the
Mm-mm.
community out there. You have people flocking to wine, to dance, to play math
All
together,
ages.
because you cannot beat down the spirit of people who insist on being liberated through
Yep.
in their soul, through their body. You can't beat us down that way. You can't oppress
Nope.
us that way. No. So that's what we're a part of. That's why we're going to play mass.
Yes. That's why we going to play mass. And y'all should join us. And even if you can't join us this year, definitely get on for next year.
So if you
But
can't,
we ain't talking about next year. We talking about right now. Hop on
if
this
you,
plane right now. Ain't
mm-hmm.
no time like the present. Ain't no time like today.
Yeah.
SankofaWellness.com. Go ahead and tap in. I'm trying to tell you. It will change your life. It will change your
Drop
life.
a link, drop a comment in the below, DM me, Sankofa Wellness Project. DM Tanee if you want to ask
Yep.
her more about her experiences in beautiful Barbados. Watch her channel on YouTube.
YouTube. I got videos on there posting the trip. I probably have some more videos I need to post. I'm gonna tap back into that. Yeah, life has been life, but yeah, go check them out. You can see firsthand the beauty. It's if you ain't never been, you should go.
Yeah, yeah,
Period.
it's a bucket list experience. And if you
Yeah.
look around, just watch your algorithm. The more that I keep
Mhm.
posting, the more you keep seeing, you'll see celebrities going, you'll see athletes going. You see the tourism numbers to Barbados are increasing and increasing. Barbados is the place to be right now. That's why we're taking people to Barbados because there's something special about it. And so if you're gonna go, choose to go with me and the Sankofa Wellness Project team because we're the plug. We're gonna give you the experience you
That you can't get nowhere else.
you can't get it nowhere else. Okay,
Talk about
trust
it's
that.
VIP, elite, top notch, all of that.
Yeah,
Good
I,
energy the whole time. Don't be scared to travel with some folks. It's us. We good. Don't worry about it. It's all. We don't have problems, baby. We have solutions. That was
that's
my
right.
phrase for the trip. We don't have problems. We have solutions. We should
Yeah,
keep it moving. It's beautiful outside. We in Barbados. Chill.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's all
Yes.
good. So thank you, Tanee. Thank you for sharing
Yes,
your time, your
ma'am.
reflections, and
We'll do this again.
yeah, because I want to get us in on a call. It's going to be a three-way call with the sister who organized the West African dance class. So that's what I want to see is if we can arrange a
Yes.
West African dance class during the crop over trip. Because we dance
Let's
we called it joy and liberation. We
let's
dancing.
go. Let's go. We got the drummers. We got the. Let's go. Yeah.
All right, love.
Okay. I'm about
Okay.
to get myself together. Peace, y'all.
Blessings, blessings. Thank y'all. Thank you.